Hey guys, thanks for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to take you along as I make some simple pickled eggs. Alright, so to get started with pickled eggs, you're going to need to boil your eggs. I always keep a big bag in the refrigerator, so I've already got them ready to go. I just need to peel them. And I'm going to do a dozen because that's just a really good number to have on hand. We'll usually eat one or two at a time with our meals. So I'm going to crack and peel a dozen eggs. And as I peel them, I'm going to put them in this clean half-gallon jar. Okay, now that I have all of my eggs peeled and in the jar, we're going to make the brine. Now the brine is just a combination of vinegars. Some people use water, I do, but you don't have to. You can use full strength vinegar. There's like thousands of different variations. A lot of people use beet juice. If I had some on hand, I probably would because I like the way they look in the beet juice, but I don't, so I'm just going to go with vinegars. Now, I prefer to mix white vinegar and apple cider vinegar. You can go straight white vinegar. You can go straight apple cider vinegar. It's just as long as it is vinegar. That's the main thing. I don't know how well it would do in 100% like red wine vinegar or rice vinegar. I've never done that before, but if you have, comment down below and let me know. I've never done that before. I've always done just a combination of white vinegar and apple cider vinegar with a little water. So the way I do it is 1 cup of water, and then I'm going to do 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. I always get the one that has the mother. It's just supposed to be healthier. Of course, when you're boiling it, it's probably going to negate that, but I'm going to do 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. And then I'm going to do 2 cups of the distilled white vinegar. Okay, that's our base liquid. Now to that I add about a tablespoon of a good quality sea salt. You can use pink sea salt or just plain sea salt. I use the Redmond's real salt, and that's just what I always have on hand. I always go a little bit under on that, on the tablespoon of salt, just by some kind of habit, but I get it almost full. Just sprinkle that in there. And now I'm just going to pour, or I'm not going to do these yet. Sorry about that. That's coming next. And now I'm just going to turn the heat on, and I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to let it simmer, cut it down and let it simmer for just a couple of minutes, just make sure that that salt dissolves. Now, you can add sugar to this if you like more of a sweet and sour pickled egg. I don't add sweetener to ours, but you can. You could add 1 to 2 tablespoons of either brown sugar or just regular sugar. That will work fine as well. But as far as what you heat up on the stove, it's just your vinegar and water if you choose to add that, and your salt. Get all of that well combined up to a boil and let it simmer for just a few minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step, getting ready to pour it over our eggs. Okay, so now that our mixture is ready, this is where you can add things in, like different spices, onions, garlic, whatever that you want. I usually add some black peppercorns, and I don't measure. I just sprinkle some in. I love the flavor that that gives as it pickles in the refrigerator. I also always add some red pepper flakes. About 2 pinches worth of those. Now what you want to do is to pour the hot liquid over the eggs. Make sure they're fully submerged. And then we're going to put a lid on it and let it cool completely to room temperature before we put it in the refrigerator. Okay, so I put the lid on and I'm just going to let that go completely to room temperature, not warm at all. And then we're going to move these to the refrigerator. And that's when you want to leave them for a while before you actually eat them. I like to leave mine at least a week before I touch them. Some people say 3 or 4 days. Some people say weeks. But for us, I've always just done 1 week and we start eating them. And we usually eat them before they've been in the refrigerator very long. But you do want to leave them for at least a few days. But I highly recommend a week before that you get in them and eat them. So yeah, we're just going to let these cool down, put them in the refrigerator. In about a week, we will have some tasty pickled eggs. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for joining me today. And I hope you'll give this a try, because if you're drowning in eggs like we are, which is a good thing, I'm not complaining, this is one of those quick recipes you can do that will preserve some of those eggs. You can do as many or as little as you want as well. So instead of freezing them, freeze drying them, dehydrating them, or water glassing them, this is a whole new method that you can be eating within a week. So if you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. I'm going to leave a printable recipe in the description box below so that you can print it off and then you can make them anytime that you want to. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate it if you would consider hitting the subscribe button down below. I make 2 new videos every single week on cooking from scratch, gardening, food preservation, and homesteading, and we would love to have you here. Check out our website, therosehomestead.com, for a ton of recipes that are printable, lots of sourdough stuff over there as well, and we will see you on the next video.